Because politicians on the left and the right have been screwing us over for years and using the mechanisms of government to fulfill their own selfish desires for power and wealth, the election of Donald Trump in 2016 shook the very foundation of the Washington, D.C. establishment. The lifelong bureaucrats knew that the gravy train was going to come to a halt. For decades, millions of Americans had felt that a businessman, not a politician, would be the only one who could begin to fix the broken system. And the opportunity had finally come. Trump's arrival in Washington was like parents who had come home early from a long vacation. And now the kids who were running around unsupervised, breaking all the rules, have to end the party and be held accountable for their actions. In 1988, on Oprah Winfrey's show, he was asked whether he would ever run for president and responded probably not, but added that he wouldn't rule it out in the future because he was tired of seeing what was happening in America. And that's why he thought about running in 2012, but felt that his sons needed a few more years of experience before they were ready to take over the family business. In 2016, he felt that the time was right, and the rest is history. But the establishment immediately struck back because they needed to destroy him before he started cleaning up the mess that decades of corruption had created. He was the ultimate roadblock to their globalist agenda and their long-awaited New World Order. They were so upset about Trump's victory that they counterattacked by kicking off the fake news scare, hoping to regain control of the flow of information. The big tech companies then started changing their algorithms and suppressing posts about certain topics and artificially favoring content from authoritative liberal mainstream media sources and censoring people for hurting liberals' feelings. Even Tim Berners-Lee, the founder of the World Wide Web and the man who basically created HTML, expressed regret for what the internet had become because we were able to bypass mainstream media through Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and so they began fabricating stories like supermarket tabloids and inventing scandals in the mainstream media based on their own imaginations to smear President Trump and keep him constantly on the defense. Our source says, and if true, were littered throughout the reports that endlessly speculated about Trump being engaged in a massive conspiracy to steal the election and work as a Russian Manchurian candidate. Nothing President Trump does is good in the eyes of the mainstream media. Everything he says is twisted and taken out of context to paint him as an incompetent racist who's destroying America. The week that President Trump was inaugurated, Democrat operative David Brock, founder of Media Matters, the leftist media watchdog group, launched a new plan to kick Donald Trump's bleepity bleep, which included handing out a 50-page document that was marked private and confidential that outlined how they were going to use their resources to push for impeachment, bog down his administration by constantly filing lawsuits, and use their media proxies to attack conservative media personalities and harass the advertisers of conservative TV shows. The city of West Hollywood even voted to remove Donald Trump's star from the Walk of Fame. Earning a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is an honor, the mayor said, and he didn't deserve it. And they were determined to have it removed, but so far the star remains since the Hollywood Walk of Fame is considered a historical landmark run by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, which said that they have no plans to remove it. A Pew Research study found that the media's coverage of President Trump's first 60 days in office was 3 times more negative than that of President Obama. Even NPR admitted that compared to other recent presidents, news reports about President Trump had been more focused on his personality than his policy and were more likely to carry negative assessments of his actions. Another study by the Media Research Center showed that 89% of the broadcast news reports from President Trump's first 100 days in office were negative. Newsbusters, a website run by the Media Research Center, declared that 2017 was the year that the media went to war against the president. A poll by Politico showed that 46% of Americans believe that the media makes up fake stories about President Trump, which of course they do every day. And ethics scholar John Halton had previously warned that if journalism loses touch with ethical values, that it may cease to be of use to society at all. And unfortunately, that ship sailed a long time ago. The Democrat conspiracy theory that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians to steal the 2016 election caused the greatest case of mass hysteria in America since the Salem witch trials. As you know, it completely consumed the news cycle for years. And every night, speculation and imagination imagination about what really happened got more and more out of control. He was certainly not only going to be impeached, but led out of the White House in handcuffs for committing treason and undermining our democracy, they thought. Those who hadn't succumbed to the madness were skeptical of these wild allegations from the start, and when the bombshell reports kept turning out to be completely false, the mainstream media became increasingly discredited and desperate. Alan Dershowitz, a rare liberal who maintained his sanity through all of this, summed it all up pretty well when he said that hope over reality fueled their delusions. When the Robert Mueller investigation finally cleared Trump and everyone connected to him of conspiring with the Russians in any way, the Democrats and their mouthpieces in the media couldn't admit that they were wrong and completely insane, and instead kept concocting new conspiracy theories about a cover-up. As President Trump noted, if it was the goal of Russia to create discord and disruption and chaos within the United States, then they have succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. Thanks to the Democrats. I'm Mark Dice. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. And if you enjoy my more serious presentations, then I hope you check out my books like The Liberal Media Industrial Complex or my brand new one, Hollywood Propaganda: How TV, Movies, and Music Shape Our Culture. Available in paperback from Amazon.com or download the ebook from any of the major ebook stores. And of course, there's a link to the books in the description below, so click it and head on over there and check them out.